So, good afternoon to our Inspire Elsie's radio listeners. Today on Inspiring Talks with Ilhaam, for our Women's Month series, we have Anne Siroky. But she says the people know her as Anne Siroky. No, no. So I just want to give you a brief background about our guest. She's the founder and managing director, MC motivational speaker, and coach and mentor of a foundation. She'll speak later about the foundation. She has been awarded many accolades, which include the South African Student Travel Services Project of the Year Award in 2005, named as the Shoprite Checkers SABC2 Woman of the Year for Sport in 2007, Western Cape State winner for Old Mutual in 2007, Sowetan SABC Community Builder of the Year in 2007, the recipient of the People's Post Imvusa Foundation's Community Spirit Award in 2007. She is also South Africa's former #1 beach volleyball player in 1997, the National Indo Ladies Team Player Captain. A 20-year-long service award for volleyball was bestowed to Anne in 2012. She's also inducted into the Hall of Fame in volleyball by the SA Masters Volleyball Association on the 3rd of July 2022. So welcome to Inspire Network, to Anne Siroky. If you can just greet the listeners.
Well, Ilhaam, that was an amazing introduction. Thank you so much. And good morning. It's still morning now. It's afternoon now. Good afternoon, listeners. It's been a complete long wait to be here, but I'm here, and I truly want to thank Inspire Elsie's River Radio for having me on their show. And yes, I came a little bit earlier, and I met this vivacious lady, Ilhaam. Thank you so much.
So if you can tell us quickly first about your foundation and what do you stand for now at the moment in 2025?
Well, I think in 2025, we have reached a milestone. We've turned 25 because the very year that I retired, I worked on putting a non-profit organization together. And for our organization, because I'm a sportswoman, I wanted to do that in the sports capacity. So it was really and truly that we wanted to embrace all Olympic sports. So we do education through sports. And right now, we are still in that sphere. And I said in one of my big years, I would like to hand over the sports coaches back to schools, and I would like them all to have governing positions, because in my days, I just wanted to go there and coach volleyball, basketball, hopefully, soccer that I did, and netball. And of course, when we went into schools at the beginning, all sports were taken out of schools. So we then embraced education through sports. So now it's 25 years later, and during the COVID time, obviously we were really struggled with families, communities being so hungry. And then during that years, because most of the schools weren't taking on sports coaches, we decided to go back to bigger feeding. And currently, in conjunction with Western Cape Community Care, a lot of churches, our own organization feeds 22 different communities. And then with Western Province Community Care, together we feed 100,000 daily. And Western Province Community Care, they are based here in Belhar. So I think they're about 15 years old now. But we went big on feeding during COVID. And up until today, we are still feeding. So it's just become a bigger pot. The struggles are real. We have to go out and find donors and sponsors and all of that. And part of what I've decided, first of all, I had a dream to climb Kilimanjaro. And so it was, the first part of the dream was to say, how did we manage to keep going for 25 years. And to say thank you. Because I think when you keep growing, you forget to say thank you. Thank you to all the people that have never left us, that have always come on board to assist us. And a lot of people didn't think that we were going to last, politics and sponsors, and a lot of people think that you changed how you operate, but you can't. Our slogan is making, molding, shaping. And we still continue doing that. I mean, I was the MC at Balvenie Primary School when they opened their big hall. So that was really an honor for me, because I dwell in the Elsies River community, but that was probably one of the biggest things that I did at the Elsies River community. And then we did some promotional work with another group, and that was to motivate one of our best chicken places, and I think the people were just amazing. You go out there, you touch lives, and people give back to you. And I think I felt like that today. I'm coming home in a way to Elsies River, because I've done so many projects here. And just to be here today, it's exceptionally amazing. And then, I'm training at the moment, Ilhaam.
Tell us about your training.
Oh, it's not easy.
Is it like 8 hours like it used to be?
Not now. It's 2 hours a day.
2 hours
I mean, I think I'm beginning to know Rhodes Memorial backwards, because I've been climbing the stairs up and down, because a lot of people have told me that the descent on Kilimanjaro is a lot harder, because it's 5895 above sea level to get to the top. And like all things, I'm a challenger. In volleyball, I played as a setter. In netball, I played as a shooter. In soccer, I played as a goalkeeper. And in basketball, I played as a playmaker. So now, I'm choosing a difficult time to climb, because apparently it's winter in Kilimanjaro. And the last time I saw snow was after the 95 All African Games, because I went from Cape Town immediately to Belgium. And I spent some time there coaching little children that only spoke French. But because we both knew volleyball, I could actually teach them skills. And that was really amazing, because when you go to a new country and you can still, through sports, speak the same language, it makes things a whole lot easier on you. And then I played for a province team there in Belgium, and I was there for like 3 months, and came back to Cape Town. And I think the experience that you get when God gives you talent and He gives you gifts, and it's up to us to decide how we're going to use those talents and those gifts. So if there's sports people out there, you didn't have to wait like we had to, because we had to wait for the new South Africa to be born before we could make a new South African team. For those people who know, in the olden days, if you went to play for another white team, they looked upon you as sellouts, So we had to all wait in the new South Africa. In the old South Africa, it was Springbok colors. And in the new South Africa, even though they've maintained the Springbok for rugby, the new colors we got was Protea colors. So from 1993, we got Protea colors. And if you didn't continue training, you wouldn't have made it. You wouldn't have made teams. So there's still a lot of athletes, they continued playing because they loved the games. And they were overlooked for the new South African team. So you were like in a chicken and egg situation. You didn't quite know where you were going to be. I was probably one God plucked. And I was one of the fortunate ones. Because at the age of 33, first time we went to Nigeria to play in the All Africa Championships. And a lot of people didn't have that opportunity because they were either termed too old, but they were still super fit. Those years, Ilhaam, I trained 8 hours
You were saying yes.
a day. I had like 2% body fat. And I did show you the pictures to show you, to prove to you.
I
that
think when we think 8 hours, they think, yo, that's long, but that's your job.
it's my job.
If we go to work 8 hours a day, that was your job. So you looked after your
double
body.
that,
Yeah, you looked after your body and you looked after your mind, like holistically.
Yes.
So that when those matches came, you could perform.
Yes. And also, it was not easy because we had to wake up. Like, I woke up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I stretched all my muscles because that's what it was needing to do at that point in time. And then I would open the health and racket gym then. And then from there I would go to Camps Bay Beach to go and train. Beach volleyball. And that sand was a totally different game. Then when I'm done there, I was coaching. I've coached sports since the age of 19 years old. So this year, I'm in my 46th year of coaching. And I'm still coaching. And in my younger ages, I played netball. I was in the provincial team at the age of 9 for netball. In the soccer team at the age of 16. And the basketball team at the age of 25. So, yeah, I was very blessed. I played badminton for the under-21 team. So myself and Alloy Lawrence, we played together. And we won the under-21 championships. And with netball, in the old South Africa, we traveled everywhere. So it's not like now. People want to probably live in hotels and stuff like that. But for us, it was the absolute best to stay in private homes. So it didn't matter where we went to. We stayed in a private home with a tannie or a oom or, but I was still playing netball in the Coloured Association at William Herbert. And then only after I had discussed with Ray Collier at William Herbert if there was no soccer for us when I was 16. So I wanted to go there to play soccer. I wanted a new sport to challenge me. And then in the board meeting they had to either say yes or no. And then she said, well, there's nobody playing soccer for girls at the moment. That was 76. It was in our raw years, our tough years, in our riot years for us. And we were very involved with, we didn't want inferior education anymore. So everybody wanted to change that, So I think I've walked quite a journey in terms of what I wanted with sports.
You should write a memoir.
Yeah, I know a lot of people are telling me. So I'm getting there. So I think opportunities like this that allows us to speak about how it was. It was very difficult. But yet in our days, we could say, or I can say with full knowledge of my heart, my mom grew us up in a very staunch Christian family. And as we grew up, like gangsterism today was not like that when we were young. If we came back from our netball field, we could walk from the station. And if the gangsters saw us, there was gangsters, but they weren't dangerous people then. They would say, oh, that's Auntie Mum's daughter. Because my granny, she only passed on at 99 years and 10 months.
Hey, the Lord bless her.
Yeah, so we lived with her for a long time and later on went to my mom. But it was beauty personified. Our doors could be open at night. People wouldn't get into the house. We still played indigenous games in streets, like drie stokkies, Kennedy, pok, hoeveel op die rug, drie blikkies, It's now official sports, do you know that? People get colors for it. Skipping. It's called indigenous games.
Oh, wow.
So 5 klippies, ander klippies. I mean, in those days, those were the things that kept us busy. We played yo-yo, competitions on that. Our schools used to have concerts, local concerts, where our moms and dads came to support. And we dared not speak back to our grown-up people.
I think that's the difference also, the support. Because now there's a lot of children that want to maybe participate in all these things, but then nobody's there for them.
No.
No one supports them. But I want to ask you, what kept you motivated? Because a lot of times you go into sports and doors get closed in your face, or you get rejected, especially the time that you were trying to build your career, for example. What if somebody said no to you? If there was a challenge in front of you, what keeps you motivated? I won't even say kept, because you're still going at it. What keeps you motivated till this day? And also, like, just a message of not to give up.
Look, first of all, for me, I grew up in a mixed society. So I had some Islamic friends, I had Christian friends, I had friends across the board. But I think our communities really got involved, because our communities was proud. If you made a provincial team, they were proud. I mean, I remember with my own family and my granny and my aunties and everybody, a karaoke was nothing to organize. Cake sales was nothing to organize. Mom and dad and granny didn't have to worry, is Annie going to have money to go? I grew up in Strauss Avenue in Retreat. And people would come to our house with envelopes. I moved from there to Salt River. But in between, I also lived in Manenberg with my own dad, because my mom and dad were separated. But I find, like, I love people. I love the Lord. And I think God has kept me from a young child, because I was born with clubbed feet. You know what clubbed feet is? Your legs are like this from your knees down.
Really?
Yeah. And the doctors always told mommy, your daughter's not going to play sports. So going back and thinking of my years at Red Cross Children's, it was a big thing for me. And I think because I was so many times in the heaps of people, it became imperative that I just loved people. But I think in those days you had choices in your life that your family made with you, and it was positive choices. It wasn't like, you see, drugs wasn't rampant. There was no tick. Or if it was there, it didn't touch us.
It is now.
Yeah, it didn't touch us. I mean, Dacha was legalized. What do you think it's doing to our youth today? I saw a clip on Facebook the other day about what teachers have to go through. You know, it is crazy. I only had one incident like that at one school that I was with, but it turned out that he was very frustrated with his parents because he had no support, and for him it was the lashing out. And I think now it's like I send my child to school because I want to be free. But in those days it wasn't. When I walked to school at St. Mary's Primary, there was no homes in Concert Boulevard in Retreat. And there was only hills and hills and hills of sand. Ek het die skoene gehad, die meisie.
Hey, girl.
Ek moet gestap het, and then it's cold. It's icing cold. Parents and moms didn't afford shoes, but school toe moet ons gegaan het. So it's not like, I don't quite know what is happening, but mental wellness has become a big part in our society. And it's sad. It's very, very sad. And talking about the Future Factory, I had an ex-partner, Michael van Rood. He's now living all the way up in Eiserfontein, working there. And now I've got Gillian Alexander. And wow, what an amazing strength she is. She wasn't born deaf, but she became deaf. And to the point now that she can't hear at all. And it's almost like as many times as we've put it out into people who contact us for work or booking me for doing emceeing or for motivational speaking or team building, they can book me for team building because right now I still have to raise funds for Kilimanjaro, even though my ticket has been booked and my trek has been booked. There's other stuff that you need around it, and I don't think I could have asked for a better other director than Gillian. She is hard working. Oh my word, and she will talk to you 10 times and the people don't understand it. So your answer hasn't yet been given, but she's already read it and she'll answer you almost immediately. I'm sure she spoke to you as well. And she's on the burn, man. She's on the ball. But she herself, in her own right, she was acting director for the Department of Community Safety. And when I was crowned the Shoprite Checkers SABC 2 Woman of the Year, she was the understudy speaker for me that one of her directors booked me for the department. And she had a vision, she had a dream, because she excelled in hockey, she excelled in softball. She went overseas as a coach of the under-18 team to also do it. And today she can't be here. She's just in so much pain that she can't be here. And I think for me, I feel like I'm totally blessed in God's realm, because yes, I've also had my challenges and my injuries, but I've kept going. Like, my knees was giving me a bit of problems 5-6 years ago, and for some of the other reason, when I get up that Rhodes Memorial now, because next month I'm going to be climbing up Table Mountain and hopefully Lion's Head, because I've got 2 people who said to me they'll do it with me. I'm doing yoga with the beautiful lady Chantal. I go there Mondays and sometimes Wednesdays. And then I walk 25,000 steps a day. I'm not young anymore, so it's something that I have to keep going. I have to keep going with. And I think I went to a few motivational speakers. Me, myself, I went there to listen. And then one of the things that I received back from them was to change something in my eating or add something more in my eating plan. And that was beetroot, sweet potato, and lentils. So instead of eating rice, I eat lentils. Whether I'm eating chicken or whatever I'm eating, whichever dish, I've kind of changed over to adding those 3 all the time, and to actually have a lot more natural products inside of my system now. So yeah, so life kind of changed for me when I turned 60. That was 5 years ago. I'm now 65, and I can
Looking
only
35.
People often ask me to show my ID number or my ID book or my driver's license, you know. And I can only say, through the grace of God, that Allah the Almighty has kept me going.
Amen.
I mean, I'm at Michael Oak in Kenilworth, at Grooteskuur High School. I was the MC for the pin ceremony on Thursday. And I was so proud because we played against President High School that is in Goodwood, and overall we won most of the games.
Hi, congratulations.
Yeah, but it's always an opportunity for our matriculants. They participate, they give back to their schools, and it's a moment to really applaud them for what they have brought to in their sporting career.
I want you to tell us a little bit about what did it feel like when you were inducted in the Hall of Fame for volleyball?
I think one of the first culminations is to get this phone call, you know, and they say, Annie, you're going to be inducted in the Hall of Fame. And that didn't happen in Cape Town. It happened in KwaZulu-Natal with Yogi and his team from volleyball. And it is almost like they saying thank you to you for what you have done. And you feel like everything that you have put in I played volleyball only much later in my life. I started only at 19. But the accolades that you get is to actually say to you, yes, we've honored you, but what are you giving back to society? What are you giving back to communities? And it actually has to make you work harder. It was exactly the same when I won the Shoprite Checkers SABC2 award for the sports category. Then I was working on a project called Kimoja. No, thank you, I'm fine without drugs. And an alcohol program. People had to choose either to live or go down that drain. And we went out with a team of young people. Shahid was a part of my team. Munib was a part of our team. They did a 6-minute dancing stint where they were actually motivating people right around the Western Cape and in the townships. We went to Khalicha. We went to Guguletu, Nayanga. And we were applauded for trying to do that change. But as per normal, Ilhaam, politics. Our elections is every 5 years. So it doesn't matter what amazing projects you put into place and what amazing projects the government call you to do. In 5 years' time, new leaders, could be a new president. We haven't had really that much. But they just decide, no, they want new projects. That's all parties, whether it's the DA, whether it's the ANC. That's almost like they can't see the greatness of the work that has been done for on the route, on ground level, for the development of the communities.
They so every time there's a setback, basically.
Every time there's a setback. I mean, we traveled even with a Safer Beach project. Yes. That those days it was under Leonard Ramatlekane. But we went with the Safer Beach project all the way down the south west coast, actually, all the way to Oudtshoorn, all the way to George, all the way to Mossel Bay.
That's and the urban side, like.
That is, Mossel Bay was going up all to Plettenberg Bay, Garden Route, that whole area. We traveled every Christmas. We did 23 beaches. And we got people from the community to come to the beach. Some people haven't even ever seen beaches. And this was now just in the new South Africa. But it's like people's eyes get blinkered, man. And they don't see that there must be value in us uplifting our communities. Our slogan is making, molding, shaping. And that's what we've been trying to do all the time. And participating.
You must participate.
I'm still participating in netball. I'm still participating in soccer. They've asked me to come and play for the Magogos.
Hey.
Yeah, there's a team at William Herbert. So I think after Kilimanjaro, because I trust God's grace will fall on me and I will continue to go. There's a lady, Desiree as well, like Desiree Alice. I played with Desiree Alice. I was her goalkeeper. She's now obviously been uprooted to the national team. But so we're also praying for her, by the way, because I think there's some forces out there that also want to remove her. She's put the Banyana team
on track
globally.
Yes, yes.
Yeah. And because they didn't qualify this time round, it's like tick off a name. She's got to go. Why? Every time a coach does amazing work, it doesn't mean that they need to go. You know what? God forgives how many times? And it's rebuilding phase. She's not too old. She's about 4 years younger than me. And I think if I'm still out there going, she is going to be even better because she's learned so much over these years. And people don't see that. It's just like, you know what? It's time for change. Why? I had a few coaches in my life. They always used to say, you know, if it doesn't work, We must relook at it. But if it works, don't change it. And if you have taken your team to the global, I mean, it become about honoring that person now. I mean, I was honored in 2022, the same year as my Hall of Fame, with a legend from our Western Cape government for giving back to sports. And I work extensively with all government departments throughout my career when I retired. And we really worked hard to put sports on the map through the Future Factory, personally for me, running coaching clinics. Wherever people called us, we went. Because Future Factory can't be held in a box. We need to be out there to show what we are doing. And so this year is about saying thank you to all those people who used us. Thank you for coming to the party when we were in need. I think, Ilhaam, I'm still short of about 30,000 for my trip because now it's about my clothing. It's about my walking sticks for my track. It's about my haversack that I now need. It's about a number of things. And then, of course, you've got a trekking team. So you have to pay your trekking team for keeping you safe, walking with you, making up your bed at night when you are sleeping. When you come down from the mountains, they set up for you. They cook your meals. They do everything for you for the time that you are climbing. And gratitude, you know. I'm filled with gratitude. Even though I still need, I'm just grateful if somebody says, listen, we're going to give you a pair of hiking boots. I've got hiking boots that I'm training with now. But if we are going to give you a full-on waterproof tracksuit, I'm just praising God if people come forward.
How long is the climb?
I'm on the long one, on the 7 to 9 days.
7 to 9 days.
Yes, I didn't want to take this 6-day one. I didn't want to take the short one.
Are you taking a flag with you?
Of course, I want to acclimatize. I want to be able to put a volleyball ball there so that I can volley in the air. I have to choose soccer, volleyball, basketball, netball.
Volleyball?
So, yes, to volley up when I summit, you know. To maybe kick a ball. So I'm just going to choose one ball to take with me. Seeing that it was because of volleyball, I went to World Champs. I played 95, 99 All Africa Games.
The door that opened for you.
Yes, and speaking about volleyball, I have amazing support from our president, Peter Barense, and his wife, Anthea Barense. And then, of course, one of the people that you have already had here was Kim. Kim is just amazing in anything that she touches. The most beautifulest voice. And then I've got a few people like Graham Mentor. You had Grant Goldsmith in here. And it speaks of the fact that doesn't matter what happened in your life, there's always people. Like for my netball career, Vicky Sampson.
The singer?
No. She's also a Vicky. I'm not quite sure. I don't think it's her name. I'm just saying Vicky Sampson because I met her.
But I want to also ask you about, like, to be so disciplined is really a characteristic that you have to work on. You're not born with character. Character is put into you, or you see something and you copy it and you practice. I want to ask you, when it comes to sport, do you think sport has a way of building good character?
Yes, that's exactly what Professor Tim Noakes, the same year when I won that award as well, it was like I was an understudy for him because, you know, he runs the sports science center. He could be retired now, but he also wrote the book, The Law of Running. And I'm not a runner, but in my younger days, my longest distance that I did was 21, kilometers. But if you read his book, it starts to inspire you. But I also have the other book that inspires me, and that's the Bible. Because everything that I need is from there. And one of the big things is that when God was crucified on the cross, He didn't give up. He never complained. I never gave up, born with clubbed feet. I pushed through. I think if you have a goal in mind and you want to excel, you don't want to excel for anybody else out there. You have to take the steps. You have to lay down your foundation, and you have to have a positive foundation. My outlook in life is always positive. So I said, from a young child already, when I lost my Forrest Gump shoes, because that's what they put onto me, my one leg is shorter than the other. I knew when I ran, that's what I was going to do. I did sword fencing as well as a young child at Wesley Training College, and I fenced in the old South Africa, and my teachers, they both passed on now, Mr. and Mrs. November. They went to my parents and they said, yo, Annie is so good in sword fencing. Do you think we can take her overseas with us to England? And my mommy said no. She said, my daughter is staying in South Africa because here she's going to make the change here in our country. And
You truly are blessed because these doors open for you at every opportunity.
yeah, if you pray, you go on your knees. I mean, my Islamic friends, they inspire me as well. Because, I mean, I had Haji Eksteen as a netball coach and Faldila Eksteen as a netball coach. They were from Salt River when we moved there. And Haji was amazing. I mean, they said the only thing you must now is a Islamic name. So the more I started to do talks and Muslim groups booked me out, they started to give me a name, Abida. And in Salt River, they even told me, Alif dit is sa bawa Abida, dit is da Abida. And then Haji, for some event or the other birthday, taught me Suraya, to jigger Suraya. And I realized already at that age of 14, 15, that it's always going to be a collective group of people that makes the biggest difference. And we never had coaches that gave up on us. We had coaches that pushed us, but in a positive manner. You know, it wasn't about, as jy nie nou daai gaan doen nie, gaan daai gebeur. So I'm like that. I coach with love. People often don't understand it. I'm at Dyser Primary in Hout Bay as well. And I'm coaching netball to the little ones there and volleyball. But, you know, when you run to your school, I think I've had a following like that. I'm a hugger. My kids at school, when they see me, yes, they say, Coach Ann, and they'll just run to me, you know. We played at Jan van Riebeeck Primary School, and I probably just had 2 sessions with the under 8s and under 9s. And when I arrived, the other coaches was already there. Coach Jason and Coach Tulani was already there. And then they had to leave the children because they just all came running to me. So we just like had a nice group hug. And I think so much fear has gripped our society with regards to reaching out and touching. And there's a way you can do it, you know. You can either motivate people to love you and you keep going against all odds, or you can get people to turn against you if you don't give that love, if you don't give that smile, and if you don't motivate the children. But nowadays, we can't just motivate the child. Your best player come and they're not participating. You need to go and find out what's wrong. We are not there. We don't see the socioeconomic situations. We've had a few girls that now needed to change their bodies. At the age of 11, you're anorexic. Can't work. It doesn't work. We need to be there for the long haul of the learners. We need to be there because the emblem of the education is enter, to learn, leave to serve. And those are ethoses that we must pick up and we must give it to our learners. And really our educators, we must applaud them. Principals, we must applaud them. The whole of the education block, we need to applaud them. If you've got people that stand behind you like Gillian Alexander and Michael van Roer did, it's imperative that you support them. I was 7 years during COVID at St. George's Grammar. They took me on during that time when there was a lull between Grooteskuur and me, and they wanted their children to do sports in social distancing. And I was very fortunate even then. We were in every community during those times, feeding, going out. We did an Easter egg drive. Every year we do an Easter egg drive. This year, we were 25 years old. We never reached the target, but we still collected over 25,000, over 20,000 Easter eggs. Those were hearts of people that came forward, came to drop Easter eggs. We went to collect Easter eggs. Schools came forward to support us. And we must, as an organization, and even me personally, like, we must say thank you. Because we are not islands unto our own.
Will you give us some perspective on the woman's perspective of going from not having rights to having rights now? And like, because you were in it. You were more in it than like most people are, because you saw things that a lot of other people like heard about, basically. You hearing it, but you experiencing it. So like, how do you, okay, back then, like for example, you were in these rooms with women, with white women, for example, and we as women have our own struggle in terms of our rights and our rights of our body, rights of financial freedom. If you look back, and I just want to get this perspective, like, we always bunch people together, so we always say all white people, but if you look at it, the women, the white women of back in that days, did they have their own struggle, and what did you see?
Had their own struggles, and people never saw that struggles. They had similar struggles, but their struggles wasn't as blatantly seen as our women's struggles today. It was more behind an iron curtain. It was more behind closed doors. They wouldn't even speak about it. Remember, women got battered during those days. Men didn't appreciate them either.
So GBV existed, it was just
Kept behind closed doors. I can talk to you about my mommy. My mommy had to leave my dad. After 5 of us were born, she remarried. But he came home, he was inebriated, and if he wanted food that he didn't provide for because mommy had to go out and work, he would beat mommy up. Several times mommy had to go through a window to get out of our house in retreat. You know? But in those days, a lot of people and parents as well believed that women must stay. They can't leave. And mommy got help for daddy everywhere. Didn't help. It didn't help because the bottle became his life. It was first, and a lot of people do the same now, because they first go out and they do something to appease themselves personally, but they won't take care of the family. And that is so ripened today.
addiction is a terrible thing.
Yes, like I go to St. Faith's Church in Plumstead, and our Reverend, which is Reverend Ronald, he grew up in Bonteheuwel. But you know what? Nothing hurt him more so than Muhsin, the 3-month-old baby, because that is his sister's daughter's son. He was killed last week. I'm sure you read about it. And How do you account for that? When your 3-month-old baby has been shot. So there's a lot of things that the women in 1956 during this month walked for. How many of those things are still alive today? Students are getting killed. A pregnant mother was shot now in Durban by her boyfriend. Where do you put all these things? And people always say it's God's fault. It's Allah's fault. People do that. But
No.
but both Allah and God gave us a choice.
You can't blame God for your actions.
People do that.
You're responsible for your own actions.
You are responsible for your own actions. And yes, we do get the families. And I think a lot of women are struggling today with the marginalization of women. We grew up in Retreat, Manenberg, and ultimately in Salt River. So we've experienced all the differences with different people. I mean, I've experienced even my Islamic friends, some of the women, they were still beaten. And currently now I'm speaking to a lady from Port Elizabeth. I mean, even though we know that you have different laws guiding, your Muhammad didn't marry women because he married them for real reasons. But today it's not happening. And some women are not happy with that because you need to get permission from the first wife if you want to take a second wife. And people don't do it. They just go ahead and they do it. And then the first wife become persona non grata, you know. And is that right? No, it's not right. She's in so much pain because they've also got 4 children. And I'm not a politician. I just believe in God. And our whole family does that. But these atrocities does affect us. I worked for a long time with a little girl called The Rock. She lived in Electric City near East River. She was only 7 years old when her father's best friend raped and sodomized her. He got 29 years in jail. There shouldn't be that anymore. And I don't know what is the fact that is just mentally disturbing so many people to just do that. Mothers selling their children. Another mother killing her son. The case in Saldanha Bay is still going. I mean, they want to be let out. How do you do that? You know?
They can't be let out. They
So
found
I
guilty.
can't speak about that, but I can speak that many people got raped. They even got raped in their marriages.
That is also something I want to address is, yes, just because you're married to somebody, no means no. It doesn't matter whether they married or they're your boyfriend. Marital rape happens.
Yes. It is really and truly sad. And I just heard on Sunday that a mother sold a 13-year-old daughter to a man. Doesn't the man see? How can you penetrate a 13-year-old? But the youngest was 9 months, a few years back. And there's a lot of awareness being brought. But when do you say enough is enough? When do you say that?
I think when it comes to such issues, and we have to look at that our value systems aren't all the same. So your value system, like you and your family's value system, is maybe different to someone else and their upbringing, and they might justify these actions. There's always justification. They'll always try and explain, but the fact that you must explain, that means you know there's something wrong.
Yeah.
because otherwise no one would be saying anything.
No.
But we're saying things now. And I think also about speaking up. We've come a long way as women to where you were talking about the iron gate,
Yes.
where we don't speak up. There's like this level of fear because somebody might beat you if you get home because you now spoke out, for example. How important is it to speak up?
You must speak up. We grew up. Doesn't matter how cross people used to get and how we used to upset mommy, but we used to speak up about it. We never kept quiet. If somebody touched you inappropriately or hugged you, and it's not a proper hug, you would say, no, that person hugged me inappropriately. Whereas of years and years and years of young ones keeping quiet. That is totally wrong. We must say how we feel and not keep quiet,
And I think also as adults, especially when it comes to the children, you need to make time to talk to them. I think we get so busy in life, and life is hard for most of us in this country. Then you have to work 2 jobs, then you're tired, but you need to make time so that we have that space to tell you that there's something wrong.
Yes. My daddy used to just say, all of us, my stepfather, because my mommy married a second time, so we were 8 children. So it's Nicholas, Kathleen, Nicolene, Cecilia, Sandra, Lydia, Anne, and Edward. Mommy used to call us. So this last year and a half, we lost my sister Lydia, and we lost my youngest brother Nicholas. Our other sister Cecilia, she's struggling now as well, health-wise. Mommy had her own struggles because she's 85 years of age. She had to walk a lot of journeys, especially with me, because I got injured a lot. I mean, in 2009, I fell and I broke both my shoulders in 4 places each.
Oh my goodness.
You can still see this one. I had the plate taken out because I knew I still wanted to continue doing well. And then during the 2010 World Cup, I taught the disky and the waka waka. And I went all the way to Beaufort. But when we went through the Dorans, a priest didn't stop and he knocked Debbie, myself and Julie off the road in the Dorans. And I was stuck in the car with jaws of life. So that challenged my entire being, my body, everything. I couldn't walk, I couldn't do anything. And the financial stress that brought upon me because my medical aid was done. And look at me, I'm still going, I'm still standing, I'm pushing through.
Yeah, you spoke to me before about how to deal with grief, and you wanted that to be a part of the show. So can you tell us a bit about how do you deal with grief, and what advice do you have for somebody that has gone through a loss?
Because I've walked through the New South Africa and I've been exposed to various communities, I've walked with various people. As a lay minister in my church, we get taught how to deal with grief from people and how to just go to them and listen to them. Personally, for me, I'm a silent griever. And if something truly troubles me, I will go to mommy. My mom is like the biggest prayer warrior that you can find. And it's like this big thing. She stills your heart. She just makes life seem completely different. She is difficult because she ruled our house also with an iron fist. But mommy knows how to deal with grief. In the New South Africa, she's 85 now, but she still had the opportunity to go to UCT because she did every grief course under the sun to help communities uplift themselves. Yep. And today, she's also still fighting the cause of SASA.
So she's like your hero.
Totally. Totally. And I don't think I would want any other heroes than like really and truly my own family. And people that have been behind me, people that have supported me, people that are still going to support me, hopefully, on my climb to Kilimanjaro. And like your station gave me this opportunity. And For every place that have given me an opportunity, I'm grateful. I mean, I was fortunate that I met Tracy Lang, who brought that soccer team home. I'm fortunate that volleyball still uses me in the capacity as MC for various codes and sports. I'm still able to speak to Desiree Alice, to Graham Mentor, and to most of the people that I was still involved with. And I think throughout our careers, we built friendships, different friendships. And it's that pure essence of wanting to live, of wanting to not give up. Like my personal slogan is, I love what I do and I do what I love, so I don't have to work another day in my life. So like this afternoon, I'm starting at my school at 10 to 2. I coach table tennis there. And then at about 3:30, I'm going to try to get 12 steps stairs up and down on Rhodes Memorial again this afternoon. And of course, I watch my diet. And I look so forward to speaking to you today.
So you mentioned earlier about Tom Noakes. So are you on like a painting diet?
No,
Oh,
no, I'm not. I have intermittent fasting till 12 o'clock, and then I eat something.
okay.
Like I haven't eaten today, so it's past my eating
I
time.
may also.
So like 12 o'clock, that's my thing. And I don't really get hungry, but I have my water. I didn't need too much water today, but I'm eating it. I'm drinking it, and then fruits, deep, my 3 things that I mentioned earlier.
Beetroot, sweet potato, and lentils.
Yes. And I try now to eat less carbs, but it's not banting. Because I'm training more, my body feels like it needs to get more inside it. So I just try to eat healthy, and I try not to give up on life, man. And I never wake up in the morning without praying first, listening to some of my amazing music to inspire me. Every evening I look at the programs that I have to do at my various schools, and I put it into place. Yeah, I read my Bible every single day. I think I've had good role models from all societies. And I'm in Salt River. I live near the Fenton Street Mosque. So I had to learn there. I still went to get rimpies gaan sny daar. Ja. En soms moet ek my les gaan vir maak. Yeah. But the Muslim language have also changed, So gesê tramakasi. Now you must say shukran.
Yeah, changed.
So all of those things have changed. But I think the person that God has grown to in me for this time now, it's God first in everything. Everything else comes later.
Okay, we're gonna close off now. I've taken more than I promised, only half an hour, but I just wanted to talk to you. And there's a girl child sitting in Elsie's Rover, not knowing where she's gonna end up in the next 10, 20, 30 years. What advice do you have for a young girl child?
I want to say to them, go and seek help. Get somebody to listen to you speak. If your mom don't listen, speak to your dad. Remember now, Ilhaam, perpetrators also lives in a house. Go and find a auntie, go and find a granny. They can call us. We actually go all the way to help. We do feeding in a creche in Ottery. That's where our project started with Farnas. We've walked the journey with them. They're slightly older than us. They're 30 years old, but we've been with them all the time. And there's a lot of people in the community. You can be discreet about it. Just don't keep quiet. Because the next time you're going to find yourself like many young people have found themselves, not alive to breathe, not alive to tell your tale, because your life has gone. And if mommies, if you've come through COVID, and daddies, you are on this earth for a purpose. Live your purpose. Don't give up on life. If you've got children, look after them. Nurture them. Make sure that you take them back to school, even if they don't want to go there. And a lot of the times, moms and dads, we must sit, we must talk with our children. We need to find out what is wrong. And husbands and wives, the same journey applies to you. And I want to say it's Women's Month this month. Happy Women's Month. It should be actually Happy Women's Year to all women. And I think something like this must start for men as well. Because we just have Father's Day. We must actually do men's days like we do women's days. So that we can, I think if we start uplifting our men more, we make them feel special, not just look at them as providers in their homes, then I think things are going to change in our society. And we must get up every morning and say to everyone, I love you. And give people hugs.
I think we do need to train our boy child that emotions is not bad. I think it's drilled into them for so many years. No, boys don't cry, boys don't do this, boys don't. I think we need to nurture our boys to have a more well-balanced boy.
Yes.
So that we don't have all these negative things in the future. And you need to, sometimes people are apprehensive in the beginning. Everything's difficult in the beginning. Until you understand, until you're in the rhythm, until you're in a routine, then it becomes easy.
Yes.
So I think that is something that we do need to work on as a society, is to teach our boys complex emotions.
Yes.
And how to deal with complex emotions, how to deal with anger, how to deal in a positive way, so that it doesn't turn. On our WhatsApp group this morning, somebody sent through a list of all the shootings that happened over the weekend. People, that list is so long. I didn't even see read more at the bottom, and I had to press read more. And I'm just like,
sad.
It's unresolved anger issues and access to guns and access, like, we need to address these problems. Otherwise, it's going to continue and it's going to get worse. And also, I was thinking about what you were saying earlier, why it's so much worse now. It's because back then we never had a cell phone. You didn't have Google.
You never had
and
places.
you can't blame a cell phone for something. But you need to teach your child also how to use a cell phone. Because you can be Googling bad things, or you can be Googling good things.
Yeah.
So you also have to take responsibility, because now there's a child at 3, 4 knows how to work a phone better than an adult.
Yes.
So we need to also monitor that. Like, you need to teach your child to kind of gravitate towards positive things.
Yes. And I think it's important if you teach your child the way that God wants us to love, they're going to grow up with that, you know?
Because
So
that's the environment, and that's going to be what is expected of them, to be good people.
Yeah. And I think more talk shows like you have, and to also motivate our government officials, our president, to come out to the people more.
Come
And
down,
not only when it's election time, you know? They must show themselves. A lot of the times, our bosses and people want to stay there and not come down and see what happens within the community. So that is one of the most important things that you touched as well.
I also believe that. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's my pleasure.
And Siroky is a volleyball legend. She's been inducted in the Hall of Fame. She has so many accolades. I'm going to be posting the video as soon as possible. Any last words? How can people contact your foundation?
Well, they can contact us, or they can see me on Facebook and Siroky. If they don't know how to spell my surname, I always say, think of dress in Afrikaans and Siroky, Siroky. And they can WhatsApp Gillian 083 715 0676, 083 715 0676, or they can contact me or call me on 081 327 5279. I also just want to say the last thing. All the people that have supported me thus far on my journey, may God bless you. And I'm just going to inspire other people that if you have anything that you can support my trick with and the Future Factory, you are most welcome. I'm not on any other social media platform.
Facebook.
I'm only on Facebook, yes, because it gets too difficult for myself. And love, as God says. And Ilham, thank you, man. You're so truly special.
Huh? Thank you.
Yeah, you just like, you're quiet and you're unassuming. And may God bless you
Thank
to
you.
do a lot more talk shows and to inspire a lot more people. And tell your management and staff, I say thank you for having me on Inspire Elsie's Radio.